Hello everyone, Andy Schwab here with your Northern Ag TV and the market wrap up. Well, cash cattle had yet again another tough week as the continued pullback in the box beef values has plagued the prices. This, of course, tied the hands of many feedlots as their attempt to hold out for the higher prices are being held back by increasing cattle weights in the feed yard. Of course, they do still have the limited supply factor on their side, which may be the only saving grace right at now, as a mass sell-off could come around if that were not the case, of course. The softer prices did trickle into the cattle futures this past week with final Friday session juking and jiving and dodge a drop in the week-over-week comparison as November feeder cattle futures found a 90-cent increase in the 7-day comparison, while live cattle futures slid along a sideways trading pattern throughout the week and only ended their bids with a dime above the previous Friday's close. Now, on the local auction front, many sale barns are chomping at the bit to get the fall run fully underway. However, the head counts are really not there quite enough yet to say that it's officially begun. Nonetheless, the demand on the yearlings is remaining high as Belle Fourche livestock last Thursday saw the 850-pound steers running $365.50 up to $376.50 and heavy 9-weights right at $340. Their 8-weight heifer mates found prices ranging mostly $335.50 up to $340, and 9-weight heifers at Belle Fourche last week $323 to $328. On the coal cow front, Billings livestock was once again steady at $162 to $172, while their open stock cows under 4 years old averaging $233 a hundredweight and topping out at $315, while coal cows at Bighorn Basin livestock in Worland almost outpriced the coal bulls on a light test with a top of $180 on the cows and bulls topping out at $190. For the sheep side of the sales, Newell had over 6,000 head through their yard on Thursday with big gains on the lighter lambs. 80-pound lambs run $227 to $241, while 100-pounders averaging $213. Coal cows were captured, coal ewes that is, were captured anywhere from 75 cents a pound to 95 cents a pound, and open replacement ewes between 2 and 4 years old, well, they are $195 to $225 a head. As for the grain trade, it was a slow day on Friday to close the week for the futures markets as the U.S. government shutdown was in its third day, resulting in a lack of government reports to influence the traders. The late week rally across row crop futures gradually exhausted itself throughout the session on Friday, led by the soybean futures, which eventually settled over a dime lower than the daily high that is on the November contract. Outside markets lean positive on the close of the week, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average accelerating weekly gains to a fresh record on Friday, believe it or not. And of course, the wheat futures are continuing to be pressured by the steady world supplies, which is expected to continue throughout the winter season with the upcoming harvest of the southern hemisphere crops that are expected to be above average there as well. On that other hand, though, for the wheat futures, well, they are considered to be very oversold in a technical perspective and may begin to attract some bargain buying interest from speculators. Well, that's all the time we have for today's Northern Ag TV, but as always, you can find these prices and much more on our website, northernag.net. For Andy Schwab here at Northern Ag TV, have a great rest of your day.
From the beginning, we've worked closely with farmers. BNSF's ties to the agricultural community go back 175 years. Together, we've innovated to make the U.S. agriculture supply chain one of the most efficient and productive in the world. Our strong relationship powers BNSF still today and helps us move the nation like no one else can. At BNSF, we move the nation for you.